What was the origin of this story? What incident or inspiration triggered this absurd and poignant story?
Okay, so the idea started, there was several things I would say like kind of contributed to it, but the main thing was I had a pulmonary embolism like about 3 years ago at this point, and while I was in the hospital, for some reason I just kept having this vision of Ruben in particular with a Hawaiian shirt and a parrot and a gun walking through the street, demanding that someone take, it wasn't like a lover at that point, but somebody out of this parrot. And I had met him like a few months before that, and we were working on another script. So that's how I kind of got to know him and knew his personality, a bit about his life and that. So kind of just from there, I was like, oh, let me, this seems like something. For whatever reason, this image just keeps coming back in my head. So I wrote a treatment out and submitted to a grant program in Florida called Ulight Arts, where they give you $50K to do like a micro budget film.
Nice.
And then from there, I had to find a producer to, bring it to life, really. And
so how did you get involved in the writing process?
So Gabe and I met each other prior. We had worked on a few things, and then from there, we just kept having conversations about the script, and we kept talking about the story. And then it was not like a formal, like, come on as a producer. At one point, I was like, it sounds like you need a producer, not someone to bounce ideas off of as well. And then I have a lot of experience producing. I actually had a film here last year that I produced as well. So at that point, I was like, I guess I'm producing and we're writing this together, and we're going to get this through the door.
That's so awesome. So the look of the film has an uncompromising beauty. How did you and your DP and your production design team coordinate the look of it all? How did you guys coordinate this look? What was the meeting?
We met a lot. We talked about different it's like references of other films, kind of just more of an idea of like the feel we wanted, the colors, the tone, all of that. And that it was a comedy, a dark comedy, but to shoot it bright and colorful and like not necessarily grim and dark.
Yeah.
And then as far as like on the technical end, the lenses, the choices and that, we had different options. We settled with like Russian. You probably would be able to explain that better. But
like your master shots were very, very colorful and very, very painterly like almost. So
right. Yeah. I mean, one of the ways that we were trying to design the visual language of this film was also to support the acting and the speed that we had to work at. So we shot with a small camera, FX3. The whole movie was shot on a gimbal. We leveraged other ways to kind of create the qualities in the images we were looking for through lensing or picking the exact right time of day to film at to be able to shoot this in 10 days with very little budget. So
with an 87-year-old lead.
We were really threading a needle there to try and honor both sides, the pragmatic and the creative.
So there's a lot of conversation. Like really, that was a lot of. I would say the pre-production process we spent several months with.
As a friend said to mine, that's always free.
Yeah,
it's your time.
Yeah, a lot of hours sitting in your dining room table, planning everything.
And the writing too was free too.
Yeah, the writing was definitely free.
So, what makes you guys laugh, and how did that end up in the film?
Oh, that's
I have a quick answer for that one because I have like a lot of quotes for the film stuck in my head, and a lot of them were like improvised lines, which as a writer is probably not the best to be like my favorite lines are the ones that were improvised, but I feel like for a comedy you have to kind of give space for that.
That's good.
For Ruben in specific, I think he's like the king of delivery. Like he could take something that's very flat on the page and just deliver it in such a comedic way. So for me, it actually made the trailers when he's holding the gun to Rydell, he just goes, "Or your papi will die." And like every time I hear that line, it makes me really, really laugh because it was written in a very specific way with a specific understanding, but then when he delivered it, it was just so over the top that it just kind of made that scene, which is a threatening scene, just come off very comedic.
That's great.
I would say honestly, the comedy, at least for me, directing-wise, comedy, I always lean towards the actors on that. Like I have definitely like a particular sense of humor and that I usually like to go big on stuff, start big, and then the actors are going to come in and rein it in and make it more real and grounded. So with Ruben a lot, I remember I talked a lot with him about how to like hit the jokes and kind of the sort of the way he would deliver it. And he's big on like Leslie Nielsen kind of style delivery where he's saying some absurd dialogue, but
Right.
he's saying it very straight face and like
Right.
it's real. It's not, this guy's soul is in this book. Like it's like,
You gave him a role of a lifetime,
So,
I have to say.
it's really kind of, I guess, grounding the absurdity of the story and the dialogue in like the delivery and the performances of everybody.
Beautiful. Just one more question for you. We were talking about production design. How close were you to the production designer in trying to get what you got? Because you guys got expensive looking sets.
Well, that was funny.
They're definitely not.
Those were all. So we shot in my grandfather's house for the entire most of the film.
Yeah. And it was one of these things that like we had all gone, Kevin, Gabe, and I, to his grandfather's house to look at one location, and then we were like, we can figure out a way to make this the most of the film. So we had. It was a little bit of convincing, but we had to build fake doors to create fake apartment complexes, and then cinematographer Kevin had to kind of shoot it in a way where you just don't see the seams ripping, because like you would move the camera just like an inch to the left and everything falls
The brick
apart.
wall would be crumbling.
Yeah, but I guess you
you
could
can see the fakeness
Yeah.
like 2 inches.
But I guess you could speak a little bit more on that as well.
But just how you work with the production design as a whole. you know?
Yeah, we tried our best in pre-production to kind of guide our production designer into like where we're going to be looking, and also to apply all the sort of color schemes that we came up with for the
Okay,
different
great.
characters
Yeah.
and motifs of the visual language of the film.
Yeah.
And practical things like where our lights are going to be coming from, all that kind of stuff. As much as we could. We don't have full control in these spaces, but
No,
yeah,
that's-
that one location gave us a lot to work with.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, I would say, also besides the production design, the wardrobe, the costume and wardrobe was really where the colors played into, because we knew we wanted like certain characters to have certain colors. Like
Right.
Ruben, we picked a certain palette, yellows, oranges. Renee, who plays Yo Elvis, we picked blues and greens.
Yeah.
Radell had more blacks, and so it was a lot of that, I would say, too, along with the production design.
That's awesome. So I have to ask, where did you get the Parrot and how did you find it?
Oh, we will plug that parrot. That parrot is actually made by a local prop designer, an FX designer named
In
Eric
Florida.
Corbin. Yeah,
Wow.
he is like a master in just designing creatures and monsters and stuff. And he is like God's gift from heaven, because like you give him a crazy idea and he'll execute it flawlessly.
That's so beautiful,
Honestly,
man.
one other little thing with him was originally he was just going to be like a regular parrot. There wasn't really all this kind of scruffy look. But we had an artist do some like sketches for like, we were doing a pitch. So he had some like character sketches going. And for some reason, he's like, for whatever reason, when I read it, I felt like he would be scraggly and losing hair, patchy. And then he did a sketch. I'm like, you know what? Actually, let's roll with that for the real thing. And I sent that to Eric, and he's like, yeah, he has, I don't know if you see, he has like a belly that's all like showing exposed. It's like,
Yeah. And there's actually 3 of them.
yes. Yeah, yeah.
So there's a hero one.
Stunt double.
Yes, actually, there's a hero one that
This is the
has
hero one.
interchangeable. There's one that has interchangeable heads. There's one that's an actual hollowed out puppet that we manipulate as well.
The most famous parrot since the dead parrot of Monty Python.
yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah.
I mean,
another dead
seriously,
parrot.
yeah, it's
I
another
didn't make
dead
that
parrot.
connection, but
And it has a spirit in it. Yeah. All right. So finally, at its heart, this is a love story. What does, in your observation, how does love replenish our spirits in humor, passion, and parrots?
Yeah, so that was a big part of like finding the themes of the film. Like, definitely it was grief. Like I would say, when the initial concept came in, that's
Right.
probably where it was.
Right.
Because beyond the embolism I had several family members pass. I had
Yeah.
a close friend pass away suddenly with COVID. That was like,
Yeah.
it was, So I guess in a way, subconsciously, it was kind of, that was filtering into. And I think part of the big thing with the production and the reason why the film has the heart that it has is because everybody involved in it, I think, was able to connect to that aspect of like dealing with grief and the process. I mean, everyone in our crew has had someone they love pass away, and so I think that brought. I'm even getting emotional talking about
no,
that.
it's beautiful,
That
man.
brought a lot of the heart to the film, because Ruben had something to connect with Kevin,
Yeah.
TP Kevin, and yeah, I think I would say the love aspect of it is what gives the film, and beyond the film, just what makes working with people and collaborating with people special. It's like you're not just doing something on your own. You're with a group of people, and you're all in this warm.
And now you get to come and celebrate the whole thing.
And this is the nice part.
Walking down the street with the Parrot. That was freaking great.
Yeah, I think
I couldn't believe I was seeing it.
Yeah.
It was one of the most surprising things.
And I think
because I just watched the movie that morning.
That's incredible. The timing is so good for that. Yeah.
So I was so glad I ran into the crew.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to add about the love aspect?
Yeah, I think like a big thing that we experienced when we were writing it, we had a couple of conversations about, where the love of that fits in, because there's a lot of types of love and a lot of ways that you can express love. And like if you look at the characters, they're all dealing with their own level of trying to let go and accept. And a lot of them are trying to show love in a way that they feel is right, but it might not necessarily be the love that that person needs to receive. So a big thing about our talking about love is understanding the type of love someone needs and giving it to them, as opposed to like forcing whatever your idea is of love on them. And like you kind of see it throughout all those interpersonal relationships in the film as well.
I could send those 2 answers to Hallmark and have a special. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it just talking about like production in Miami is kind of special, because you have to work as a family in that space in order for it to be successful.
Right.
And so I'm fortunate to work with all these people that respect me like if I was their own blood. And that's something that, it's hard to find in other industries, I feel like.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.